Hey YouTubers, Starfire here. So tonight it is just me doing the flash review because Raven said that she wasn't feeling well. And so it's back from its hiatus tonight. Woohoo! It is season 3, episode 10, entitled Borrowing Problems from the Future. And this episode was really great. It had a lot of really great West Allen stuff in it, which I'm super excited about. And it also just had some awesome other things too. So, first off, I'll talk about my likes. I really liked the West Allen stuff. I liked the very first scene where you see them in bed and, you know, he's like had another nightmare and stuff, and she's like, you know, she called him by his full name, which I thought was funny because he's all, am I in trouble? Because usually when people call you by their full name, it means that you're in trouble. And she's just like, well, I just want you to be telling me what's going on, you know? And he's like, you know what I want to do? It's been a month, like, and she's like, don't try to change the subject, Bartholomew. He's like, it's been like this 3 nights in a row. And he's like, I know something else that we've done 3 nights in a row. And I'm just like, oh my god. So yeah. So it's just really nice to see them in their new loft and like just being domestic and, you know, being the lovely in love couple that they are. I really just enjoy anything that we get with them. So this episode made me, and I'm sure many other West Allen fans, extremely happy. What else? I guess I'll just say the West Allen stuff first and just get that out of the way, and then I'll talk about everything else. Okay, so then, you know, we see another scene with them, and it's where he has unpacked everything, and he's like, I know that you wanted to like do it slowly like a normal couple, but he's like, you know, with our jobs and with everything that's going on, you know, I thought that, you know, we should just do it because it will probably take longer if we don't, you know. And he's like, I hope that you don't hate it. And she's like, no, I just, you know, want you to tell me what's going on with you. What aren't you telling me? And every time he's trying to be alone with her, he gets a call again. Like something happened. And I like how he tells the villain, every time I'm trying to be alone with my woman, I get interrupted. So I'm glad that he finally acknowledged that, and he's actually not trying to get away from it. I mean, he wants to tell her, but, like, you know, he's just scared. And then Wells trying to open the freaking Star Labs museum. Oh my gosh. And so then Barry ends up telling Iris what happened and showing her the article and saying that, you know, it used to be written by Iris West Allen, and in the future I see you get murdered by Savitar and all this stuff. And that scene was really sad because, you know, I liked their acting in that scene. Grant and Candace were great in that scene because they were both crying, they were both emotional, they just both really brought out the realism and the emotion in those characters. Like, you really felt for them, you felt what they were feeling, you felt Iris's pain, and you felt her anguish, and you felt so bad for her, and you just wanted her to be okay. Like, and Barry, you know, promising that he will do anything that he possibly can to protect her and make sure that she's safe, and, you know, the fact that she thinks that he should just, you know, save other people, and he's like, why would I do that? Why would I save other people before I saved you? you know, basically saying that she's the most important person to him. And so I really liked the symbolism and just that whole thing. And so, you know, and then her saying, you know, you can't do it alone. We can't do this alone, Barry. Like, we need to have other people helping us with this. And then letting the team know about it, and, you know, going with Cisco into the future and everything. Oh, okay, I'll go into that after. But anyway, yeah. And so, part of the reason why he doesn't want to stop this Plunder villain in the episode is because he saw him in his vision in the future, and he thinks that if he tries to stop him, that it will seal Iris's fate. And so that's why he's hesitant. Anyway, then the other West Allen scene that we see is the last one, where, you know, they're having their housewarming party, and everybody comes and, you know, is like wishing them happiness and everything. And I love what Wells said, where he said, you know, I don't think that there's two people that are more suited for each other than Barry and Iris, and that he toasted to them and everything. It was just really nice. And yeah. So, as you can tell, they always make the episodes for me, and it makes me super excited when I get to see scenes of them and see them happy. And I mean, yeah, we did get to see some happy moments, but we also saw some sad moments too. So, let's just hope we get to continue to see more with them. So, yeah. Okay, so, the fact that Iris didn't want to tell her dad because, you know, it's like, you know, you saw how he freaked out with Wally, like if he knew, he would try to go after Savitar himself. Well, Raven is always saying that Joe is going to be the one to die eventually. And if something like that were the case, like if Joe were to know about what's to happen to Iris, and he does try to go after him, and he ends up being the one that dies instead of Iris, then that would be, you know, true to the whole mentor story. You know, the mentor dies. So, I mean, as much as I don't want that to happen, I would rather it be Joe than Iris. And I hate to say that because I love Joe as well, but if it would keep Iris from dying, then I would rather that happen. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying that in the case of like him knowing, maybe that could be a little bit of a foreshadow or a clue to what's to happen. If he were to know and he were to go after Savitar, then that could be a possible outcome that could happen to him. Also, the fact that Julian is going to be on the part of the team now and he's going to work with them is interesting. I do like his and Caitlin's, you know, relationship. I like that she's the one that's close with him, you know, if you know what I mean. I actually was tweeting while I was watching the episode, and I'm like, what do you guys think of Caitlin and Julian? I'm like, do they even have a ship name? And I was like, Snowbird? Is that a possible ship name for them? I mean, since people are tending to use last names a lot of the time with these superhero shows, like, you know, West Allen. So is that their ship name? Do they have another ship name? Like, are people even shipping them together? Like, I need to know these things, guys. Do you guys think that's a cool ship name for them? Like, I just, you know, let me know your thoughts. So, I think that there's some potential there, but I'm not saying that I want them to, like, get together right away or whatever, but I think that he could potentially kind of be a good person for Caitlin to be with if that were to happen, just because, like, you know, he's dealt with a lot himself, and I think that it would be a good balance. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. I'd really like to know. What else? Oh, yeah, Wally and Barry both taking, on the villain, and, you know, Barry not necessarily appreciating Wally at first, and then realizing that, you know, he's an integral part of, you know, what they're doing, and that he needs to help with the whole Iris thing, and, you know, that he's willing to welcome him and you know, on the team with him and to help him out saving people. And so I liked that. What else? Oh, so when Barry and Cisco go to the future through Cisco vibing, on Twitter, Entertainment Weekly posted this article that says that they revealed big spoilers for the future via the future news headlines. So some of the stuff that was revealed was that Music Meister gets a 6-figure book deal. And it means that we already knew that the DC Comics villain will be played by Darren Criss, Blaine from Glee, which we mentioned in the Supergirl video last night, for those of you that have not watched that. I got all excited because, you know, Melissa Benoist and Grant Gustin were both on Glee, and Darren Criss was Blaine on Glee, for those that have watched Glee in the past. And they're doing a musical crossover episode with Supergirl and The Flash. And so I think it's really cool because, like, they're going to kind of be reunited again, and it's going to be like a little mini Glee reunion, which will be really cool. But anyway, it says, we already knew that the DC Comics villain will be played by Darren Criss, but now we know he'll survive his run-in with The Flash and the Girl of Steel in the show's upcoming musical crossover with Supergirl. So in other words, he won't die. He'll survive that, and he'll get this 6-figure book deal or whatever, because it's in the future news headline. And then Luigi's opens after murder. We don't have much info on this one as of yet, but we're guessing that the death of this pizza joint will be among the dominoes Barry and Wally try to change in hopes of preventing Iris's death. Joe West honored at City Hall. Sorry, Joe. To prevent this headline, you may have to get your hands dirty instead of being lauded by Central City, and this item on the checklist will probably coincide with Joe finally discovering the truth that Savitar is fated to kill his daughter. Which means that he could possibly become the person who dies. Which I already talked about and explained, so yeah. Killer Frost still at large. Caitlin begged new Team Flash member Julian to help her get rid of her frosty powers, so if he can follow through, this headline may have a chance at changing. Maybe even to this. Let me see what this says. Vibe versus Killer Frost as Flash Forward villain. Ooh. So they're saying that they could both be villains? Like, what are they saying? I will actually retweet this on the Twitter, so that you guys can read this if you would like to. But I followed the Entertainment Weekly Twitter, and this was posted when I was looking through my timeline. So anyway, that's pretty interesting. We'll see. I personally would really still like to see Killer Frost. Like, I don't want them to just, like, get rid of her powers because they're trying to, you know, help Iris, and that'll change everything else about the timeline, and I don't want her to go back to just being Caitlin. Because now that she has her powers, I think that they need to do something with that. So I hope that we do see something more with that in the future. Star Labs museum closes. Well, no one showed up to the opening of the museum, so this isn't surprising. While Cisco was able to attract some patrons by hour's end, Team Flash will have to find a new way to bring people in if they really want to prevent this. Maybe a special Flash section of the museum? That would draw people in. And the last one says, City still recovering following guerrilla attack. It was recently revealed that the Flash has set a 2-part Gorilla Grodd return. One episode taking place on this Earth, the other on Earth 2. Grodd is basically unstoppable, so this may be one item they're not able to change. Holy crap, did not know that they were set to have a 2-part Gorilla Grodd return, but that is awesome! Okay, so those are just some of the list of things that were revealed in the news headlines when Cisco and Barry went to the future, and they were telling everybody about what they were seeing when they were there. So those are some things that are kind of spoilers and foreshadowing to some of the things that are to come in the back half of the season. So, what are your thoughts on some of those things? And like I said, I will retweet the article so that everybody can see it and read it and give their thoughts as well. What else? I don't know if I have a whole lot else to say. I mean, overall, I think this was a really strong episode. It was stronger than the Supergirl episode last night. It was a really strong return from the hiatus, and of course, because we got all the West Allen stuff, which always makes me happy. But anyway, yeah, I think it was a solid episode. I enjoyed seeing everything that happened. And what's up with the girl at the very, very end of the episode? I mean, I know that she has a name. I know she's like a metahuman or whatever, and we see her in next week's episode. But I don't know what her name is. Does anybody know who she happens to be? I haven't been reading, like, stuff about upcoming episodes, except for what I just read. So, excuse me. If anybody can tell me who she is, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. So yeah, I feel like I missed something, but Julian has a job there now. Wells started Star Labs Museum. He's being his weird normal self. And what's up with the girl at the very end seeing like a freaking video of Wells come up on her thing? Like, is he involved with something like that? Like, what's going on? So he has a job there. Caitlin's still trying to deal with, like, her powers. I do like that they created that thing for her, though, so that, like, her she can wear that around her neck and her battery won't die and it will always, quench her powers. That's really sweet of them to do. Barry and Iris happy and, doing whatever they possibly can to save her. Joe Wally stuff, like, Wally being badass as usual, helping the Flash, and, I'm glad that we're seeing him be, a team with Barry. It's nice. Yeah. I mean, seriously, I love the Flash. It's the best, it's really the best superhero show on CW right now. You can disagree with me, but it's truly, like, one of the best. I would say Legends is probably second or third. I really do like Legends. I'm on season 2 now. I finished season 1 last night, and I watched the first episode of season 2. So I'm not caught up to be able to watch tonight's episode, but I am on season 2. So, yeah. Anyway, I like Legends. Supergirl's getting a lot better. So I would say that Flash, Supergirl, and Legends are the best right now. Arrow, not so much. But that's just because I lost interest in Arrow, like, a while ago. So, I'm not even really watching it anymore. I only watched the crossover episode because it was part of the crossover event. But, yeah. Other than that, I don't watch Arrow. So, anyway, please give me your thoughts. I would love to know your thoughts about this episode and the name of that character and different things about, Caitlin and Julian and all of that stuff. And just the episode in general, if you have any thoughts that you'd like to share. I will post the video on Twitter like I did last night with the Supergirl video. And I checked earlier today and we now have 50 subscribers. So thank you to everyone that has subscribed to our channel and has watched our videos and has liked them, has shared them, has commented. Thank you to all of you. We love you so much and we are so happy that you guys enjoy our videos. And yay for 50 subscribers! We will have to think of something to do. So, like I was saying in the past before the hiatuses happened and everything, if there's any particular shows you would like us to talk about, any particular, like, characters, if you would like us to do a question and answer and you send in questions, anything that you think would be really great to see on our channel for celebrating 50 subscribers, we would love to know. I can start a poll if you guys think that would be a good idea. Just let me know because I want to try to get started on it as soon as possible. So if you just tell me what you think would be a good idea, we can do that. So yeah, thank you. And yeah, I guess until next time, keep believing in the impossible.